Hello 2026.
What's up, 2026?
What is up?
What's up, fam?
First episode for the year. It is February. It is later than planned, but here we are. We want to talk about fitness. Surprise, surprise. However, we want to talk about it in a broader sense in terms of people who want fitness, but it might not be a part of their life right now. So we're talking about people out in the world who want the outcomes of fitness, whether they be improved cardiovascular fitness, aesthetics, muscle, longevity, health, all the possible outcomes of fitness. However, they're being held back by things in their life, held back by themselves, whatever it may be. And there is some common themes that we tend to see in our everyday conversations that we have when people inquire with starting out with us, and no doubt other people in the industry see this exact same thing every day. But we want to break down those reasons on a bit of a deeper level today, and hopefully help you guys out there if you are on the fence about taking your next steps in your fitness journey, improving your lifestyle. There's fear there, whatever your reason may be. Hopefully we can break those reasons down if you familiarise with any of these. And yeah, we're just here to help. So I want to just give some deeper insight into these reasons. So I'm going to list them off and then we're going to break them down one at a time.
Just before you lift off, I think what's, exciting for that person that we are potentially talking to is that within our own community, there's a cohort of members who have been there before and told themselves that story before.
100%.
And have been able to introduce fitness on a cadence into their lifestyle, and they have realized their potential and are participating in events and just participating in life and being better for it. So we get both ends of the spectrum, and we have the pleasure, and it's not something that we take for granted in serving people that, like I said, have realized their fitness and their potential, but also people that are realizing it and needing that guidance.
Yeah. So I guess you're saying that, like, we've got people in our community that have been in this spot.
Yeah, exactly.
And have overcome it.
And we're, constantly engaging with inquiry and stuff like that for people that, that aren't at the other end as well.
So some of the common themes that we came up with that we hear on a frequent basis in terms of things that might be holding people back from getting started includes, I can't afford it, I don't have time, I'll start next week or next month, I've even heard next year, work's too busy, or I had a sports injury 2, maybe even 3, maybe 5 years ago and haven't got back into it. Let's break down each of them one at a time and just get a bit deeper on where these I guess limiting beliefs might be holding people back from taking the next steps forward.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start with I can't afford it.
I can't afford it is...
It's a controversial one, right?
Totally. And it would be the most common.
100%.
And what I would say to that is, what value do you put on the outcome that you're aspiring to achieve? So it always comes back to goal setting and helping, if you're listening and you have a goal, like, what is that goal? When do you want to achieve it by? And what does it mean to you? So, for example, if I was having a conversation with someone that said, I want to lose 20 kilos by the end of the year and I want to finish a high rocks race. And I asked that person, what would crossing that finish line mean to you? And, take your time considering that, because I'd imagine losing 20 kilos and finishing a really hard race that you've put in a lot of reps is going to be pretty impactful. And if it meant everything, if it was like, wow, I would be a completely different person. I would be able to show up, as a different human in my day-to-day life. I would be I'd be fitter. I would have been able to achieve something that right now I didn't think was possible. What price do you put on that? And if you were to do the maths and it came down to, right now, if it was like a year's worth of prep or something like that, and on a program that was $60 a week or something like that, you landed on $3,000. What price do you put on seeing out your goals? What price do you put on the outcome of crossing that finish line, a completely different individual? And it comes down to value perception. And what's $3,000? Like, if you had to put a number on it like that, it's nothing to actually, see out your fitness goals.
Will essentially transform your life from where you are now.
Total transformation. It comes down to value perception. So I would see massive value in being able to transform my life, knowing all the benefits that would come from it. And if someone said to me, like, Adrian, where do you want to be at the end of the year? These are all my goals. If it was $3,000 compared to mentors and stuff that we're engaging with to see out our goals right now, I'm putting down $3,000.
Right.
So what price do you put on these outcomes? And in my opinion, knowing what sort of benefit you can get out of being healthy and being fit and whatnot, it comes down to value perception, and it's priceless.
100%. And whilst I think, yes, value perception is probably one of the biggest themes here, I also think where it is in your priorities as well is probably affecting your mindset on whether you feel you can afford it or not. Because don't forget, like, if it's not important to you or if it's not high on your priority list, you're not going to prioritize your funds in that direction, right? So, and I guess when you don't have fitness in your life, it's probably harder to see it as a priority when you're not feeling the outcomes of it yet. You haven't dipped your toe in and felt those outcomes yet. So it's a harder bridge for people to make it a really high priority, whereas maybe at this time in your life, the comfort things are more of a priority. So that's where the funds are going right now. Maybe it's whatever, Netflix subscriptions. Who even knows? I can't even think of things right now. But or it could be just simply what we spend on socializing on the weekends and things like that. It could be, or there's most likely funds going into places in your life right now that could be directed elsewhere, aka into your fitness and into your health. However, if it's not a high priority for you, you're not considering investing in it. So how do we get from seeing it as a low investment to seeing it as a priority investment in your budget?
Well, I think that is a great word, investment. It's an investment. It's absolutely an investment. And there's ROI. Like, the return on that investment is, I can't put a dollar figure on it.
And that's the thing, like, there are dollar figures on it because of the world we live in, right? Like, services come with a price, and the price of fitness services come at the price of what the industry, is where it's at the time. But like you said, but essentially the outcomes are priceless. And how do you put a price on health outcomes and feelings and how you feel? So it's very subjective. However,
and sorry, you go on.
However, where was I going? I guess, it's subjective, but I guess we're in a unique position because we get to see the complete other end of the spectrum, where we get to see every day the outcomes of people absolutely committing to that investment and going as all in as they possibly can, if they want it that much, to fully transform their life and to have fitness as a really high priority. But not only do we see the performance outcomes, the aesthetic outcomes, the community outcomes, the overall health outcomes of these clients, we're seeing...
I think you brushed on something I wanted to say before about
I'm lost for words.
Well, about community, like it you could be as specific as something about an aesthetic or a fitness goal, but what price do you put on the friendships? What price do you put on showing up to a program that you enjoy? There has to be a part of that too. It's not going to be just showing up to something that's a grind day in and day out. And if that's what you're doing, maybe you do explore something else, because you got to enjoy it too. And it's got to have a flow-on effect and benefit the rest of your life. What price do you put on that? What price do you put on being able to show up as a better parent, to show up to your workplace fitter and stronger and sharper, to be more present in your relationships, to actually be alive and thriving? Like, if 1 hour out of your day could stimulate that, what price do you put on it?
So true. It is. It's like, as cliche as it sounds, it does make you better in every other aspect of your life. And I'm sure those who feel that can absolutely stand by that, in terms of, without that being a part of their daily, they're not the same. They don't feel the same. They can't perform the same. They can't give the same. So for those who feel that you can't afford it, have a little rewind and listen to all of that, because at the end of the day, it is your health is priceless, and it is an investment, and the ROI is endless.
I'm so glad we actually got to kind of canvas that, capture it, and put it out into the world, because I'll definitely refer people back to that. And we have, like I kind of going full circle here, but we're blessed in a way to be able to see the outcomes across such a broad community. When you see it, hopefully we can just help people realize the value in it.
And I think when you say we're seeing it across a broad community, that is the beauty of it, because when you say broad community, we are seeing people come from all different stages of life, whether it be a stage of pain, hardship, lost, not knowing what's next, maybe not feeling like they belong anywhere and things like that. I'm saying all these really negative places. They also could have come from a really great place and just come to a better place now and have found, hopefully a more thriving and better lifestyle and everything. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, we've seen, transformation come from all different places, and all different places in stages of life, all different ages of life, all different, when I say stages, it could be, high school, right? All the way through to grandparents, and finding their fitness at different stages. And people are coming from all different places, and we're not here to judge, we're just here to help you see what is potential and what is possible. If you maybe shift your mindset about it, and maybe shift the priorities and challenge your own belief system.
Sweet. What else?
All right, let's move down the list. So another reason we hear that holds people back is the conception of "I don't have time." Is conception even the right word?
The idea.
The idea. Let's go with the idea of "I don't have time."
I don't have time.
I want to get started. I want to be fit, but I don't have time.
Yeah, cool. Everybody has time. We're all on the same cadence of hours in a day, and I would like to, highlight here, just from within my own team, like, we're there at 5 a.m. starting our day and coaching that morning block, along with, right now, it's our busiest session is 5 a.m. It fluctuates throughout the schedule, all throughout the year. School holidays might be the 7 a.m. and the 9:30, but, generally speaking, the 5 a.m. is a really busy session. And for people that are on the tools, running businesses and getting out there and building houses and wiring up houses and doing the plumbing and whatnot, tradies, teachers, a lot of emergency service workers, they have to get it done at 5 a.m. Parents. Yeah, parents.
We see so many parents at 5 a.m. because guess what? The kids are still asleep.
Yeah.
They're not leaving them home alone, people. Don't stress.
Look, and I dare say people subconsciously realize that. I think it's a kind of very loosely thrown around term that you don't have time. You need to make time. Fitness needs to become part of your lifestyle. There needs to be a cadence there for a 5 a.m. session or something like that. You need to make the time. It might not be there right now with the time that you're making available when you wake up and go to bed. If you wake up at 7 a.m. and you go to bed at whatever it is, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, then within that window of day, no, there's not time. But can you get up at 4:30? There's time.
But that's uncomfortable. And I don't want to.
Well, seeking paths of comfort is a short-term win. Bigger picture, seeking a path of resistance is where the growth is. So you have to choose your path, choose your hard. And if comfort on repeat is your choice, that's generally going to lead to a less positive outcome. There's no growth there. There's no stimulus. There's nothing really much positive that comes from pure comfort. So choosing comfort isn't going to be serving your goals. I mean, likely if you're listening to this, you have fitness goals, you have aspirations to be better. I think humans are wired to want to improve and grow. So you need to choose the path of resistance. Even on a micro levels, like looking at piles of dirty clothes. Like if you constantly look at that pile of dirty clothes and don't do anything about it, it's not serving you. Like you need to wash your clothes. You need to wash the dishes. You can't constantly look at a dirty pile of dishes and just ignore it. So seeking that path of resistance, as much as it's annoying, you know it's there. It's like a workout. You know it's there. But if you're ignoring it, it's really not serving you. You're just potentially living not as cleanly as as you could be and not realizing your potential.
Yeah, and circling back, like, remember we're talking about people that want fitness, but they're getting in their own way with these reasons or excuses that they haven't started yet. So I don't have time. It is about making time. And honestly, if we all sat down with a piece of paper and wrote down all the things we do in a general day, everything from like when we wake up to maybe playing on our phone to when you get ready for work, when you make your food, whatever, drive here, drive there, what are you doing after work? Maybe you're picking up the kids from school, maybe you're watching Netflix, maybe you're walking the dog, whatever it is. If we did that exercise of what, you know, every day of the week, what are we doing with every hour, half an hour block of our day? If you don't believe you can find an hour in there to put towards your fitness, I call bullshit.
Okay, so break that down, because we've done this.
We have.
Yeah. Like, where do you start with that? How many days worth of activities am I writing down? Is it just one day? So, and we call it like an audit, right? You're auditing your day. Where do I start with that? How would I do that?
I would do it like, I would start with your weekdays.
Every day? So Monday to Friday, I'm going to audit 5 days?
Oh, hell, audit 7. Because guess what? Like, what we've got 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No, we're not talking about a 24-hour 7 gym when we're talking about our particular gym, but, you know, let's say that the days we're awake, the amount of hours we're awake every day. How many hours are you awake every day? If you're like you, use the example that you used before, waking up at 7 a.m, going to bed at 9 p.m, you're awake for 14 hours. Mm. You probably work for 7 or 8 of those. Mm. What are you doing with the rest?
Totally.
And you'd be surprised how much time you find and you're like, oh, just doing the mindless things and scrolling and watching TV / Netflix, believe it or not, are usually the crimes. Stealing your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a time audit is a very interesting exercise to do, regardless of...
It being about gym.
Regardless of fitness goals, like Monday to Friday, writing down actually what you do. That's not something I do very often, but I have done it before, and it is interesting. It's eye-opening, like everything.
I've done it in goal-setting sessions before too. Like, it's a very healthy exercise to do because you work out how sometimes unhealthy you are in terms of where you spend your time.
And you absolutely have time for an hour of exercise.
And you know what, team? Like, not only do you have the time, in our opinion, you deserve the time. Because that is an hour completely dedicated to bettering your health. And that's not just physical. Of course, we all know that the outcomes of physical activity have mental health benefits as well. I often speak to people that, honestly, their reason for coming to the gym is mental health focused way more than physical. So there is, you know, multiple layers there to what you deserve and what you could be giving yourself just in that hour. Hell, it might be even more than an hour if you want. Like, you know, I know a lot of people that will often do a training session plus they'll do a run or a walk as well on that day, because like that's even more time giving to your body, more ROI. So,
you know, and when you talk about self-love, it's like discipline is self-love. Discipline is the highest form of self-love. I heard that recently. I think it's so true, especially when life gets hard. People want to listen to their body and go slow.
be kind
It's
to
like
myself.
be kind to myself mindset. Be kind to yourself by exercising discipline.
Yeah. Be kind to the whole quote or the saying, be kind to yourself or myself. It has its place, but it's got to have context. And it's like, you can't use that as a bloody Band-Aid for your laziness.
Totally.
But yes, absolutely. Bigger picture and not looking at individual situations that might, warrant that sort of mindset approach. Generally speaking, yes, discipline is absolutely a form of self-love, and people that can exercise that discipline to execute consistency in giving time to their health and fitness, they reap the rewards and they're the winners at the end of the day. So moving on, next one on the list, I will start next week, Adrian, or next month. Maybe I'll start next year when I've got more time.
I don't get that too often. And unless actually, actually, it's an interesting time of year to present that, because I did,
we're in the
you're in
start,
December, and, it's a busy time for people. But you don't
It's
want
a
to...
socially busy time for people.
Yeah,
December. I
totally.
think.
But I guess it kind of speaks to, having time to train. It's there. But you don't want to lose weeks of training. Okay, like you can lose days of training. You are going to fall off. So yes, this is kind of speaking to people, this podcast to people that are trying to find fitness and might not necessarily have it on a cadence. But for the people that even do have it on a cadence, like we fall off. You're not going to be on it, 365.
It's not perfection. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And for those people, or for people wanting to get on, you there's no reason to lose weeks. That is, starting next week is just a narrative. Like, it's just an easy narrative to push back the hard thing. And man, when I get inquiry, in my mind, it's not a sale to try and get you in quickly. It's to help you realize your potential sooner rather than later. Why start on Monday? Like, if I'm having a conversation with you on Tuesday or Wednesday, are you free tonight? Are you free tomorrow morning? When do you usually train? Like, why would I try and slow down your goals? So delaying things for the sake of just next week, there's actually, and I'll say, it does need to go back to the individual here. It's not on me. If there is genuinely a reason, like you're fucking, I don't know,
Your partner's away and there's no one to look after the kids.
something like that, whatever. If there is actually a legitimate reason that you can't start on Monday, cool. But if it is just a throw around term that you yourself start next week, it's just a narrative that actually isn't real.
I've got a bit of a unique take on that. I agree. I think absolutely it is a narrative. I also think what might hold people back and why they might say next week, next month, I'll be ready in a month, or just give me a month, give me a couple of months, or give me till summer, or whatever their reference is. I actually think deep down they're ready. Like, there's nothing getting in the way apart from their mind. I think physically they can get started now. There's nothing physically holding them back. There's no time holding them back. I think the mental real estate that it takes to start something new is what they believe they need time to digest. So I feel like when people are saying I'll get started then and they don't have anything specific to justify that, I actually think it's because they're trying to get their head around change, or they're trying to get their head around trying something new. We all know that when we're trying something new, it does come with an element of potentially some nerves, some anxiety, hopefully like good nerves, you know what I mean? Excitement even, but I think people are just giving themselves time to process that mental journey of getting their head around. It's almost like they're pre-framing and pre-preparing themselves for that's going to be my new lifestyle. I've got to digest that first. And it's just this little head spin of a journey that they don't need to go on. They need to trust the process, but how do they trust what they don't know, right? So, and this is why, like, we actually, internally at Earth To Body, for example, we are very aware, and our coaching team are very aware of how confronting it can be to step into a new space for the very first time. Hell, our community know it. It's not just our coaching team, our community know it too. And I think the beautiful feedback that we often get is, you know, I was nervous. I was nervous coming in, but I actually felt comfortable within minutes. Like, the people here are so nice. And it's so awesome to see when the community literally step up and get around new people. Like, whether it's just a little cheer, welcome, like, awesome, it's your first session, or just seeing them potentially looking a little bit confused and like just giving them a hand, or come and pair up with me, or whatever it is. It's awesome seeing the community step up, but also our coaches naturally know what to do. They know that eliminating that fear and anxiety and that discomfort as quickly as possible is key to helping people just comfortably and fearlessly step into that next phase of their life. Well, I think while you're at home potentially saying, I'll start next week, next month, whatever it may be, I think there's an element for some people of they're just stewing over anticipating that change and anticipating those feelings. So there's a bit of a process going on there. And I guess, like, yeah, from people at home looking at us, we take a lot of time and care behind the scenes to make sure whatever we implement, make sure that that fear is diminished as soon as possible. Like, we know what it feels like. Our community knows what it feels like to step into the change. But often, like, the best thing we hear is like, I cannot believe I didn't start this sooner. Like, it's crazy.
Something you said then, there's like, step into the change. There's an element of doing something uncomfortable. And I guess just ask yourself, on what occasion did you do the hard thing? Or did you do something uncomfortable where it didn't serve you? It, you know, comes back to choosing that path of resistance. There's an easy path. There's a comfort path. It's staying safe where you are. Or there's choosing the inevitable. Or there's choosing that path of resistance. And there's resistance there because, you know, you mentioned mental real estate, and I guess, like, whatever the program is or whatever the thing is that you're considering stepping into, and, you know, and you're not, I've lost my train of thought. Oh. Yeah, trust your gut that there is actually a nurturing system behind this thing, whatever it is. You know, there's a reason that you're exploring it. There's a reason you're watching it. So just trust the process. Worst thing that happens, you tried it
and you don't like it.
You pushed against that resistance, and it didn't work out for you. You're where you are. Worst case scenario.
Correct.
Best case scenario is what you say. I wish I started this sooner, and we hear it.
Yeah. But even that moment, or that realization, I wish I started this sooner, that even that is a moment of growth. Because if someone has that realization of trying this at whatever point it was in their life, trying that something new and saying, I wish I did this sooner, that gives them confidence to do the next hard thing with more go. Let's fucking go.
Totally.
Right?
I mean, we see that
so good.
You know, coming onto the program, someone that comes to mind, you know, we offer like a PT pack for people that are nervous, you know, and it is there for that reason. Like, let me take you through, or one of our coaches take you through a couple of sessions and just slow things down, one-on-one, explain things, just get to understand where you're at, and just, you know, nurture it through. And I remember someone who was extremely nervous at the start, and she's on fire at the moment, chasing high rocks races, doing extra runs, you know, hitting benchmark weights on our kettlebell complexes, and just absolutely attacking it. And she came to mind when you said, you know, you accomplished that initial fear, but then there's, you know, it sets you up for something else to step into, because you've already accomplished this one that you've been marinating on. You're like, oh shit, I can do this. Well, I can do that. Like, there are these people that are doing this event and chasing these goals. I can chase that too. So yeah, it's cool.
It is. Yeah, it has a flow-on effect, really. So for those of you at home that can relate to that, and you feel like you might be making excuses to start something later, simply because of those mind games there. Start yesterday, bros. Like,
Yeah. Not next week.
Yeah.
Not next month.
Yeah. Just
When
do a bit of that. Let's go.
When do you train? Morning or night? Morning? Good. Tomorrow morning.
See you then.
What are you doing?
All right, next one. Next, some excuse or reason that might be holding people back is when they share that work is just too busy.
Work's too busy.
Work's too busy.
Cool. When isn't it busy? I think...
Depends what the work is, eh?
I think you've just got to ask yourself the question is when within your work life is an ideal time? Like, for me, on my own experience, it only gets busier. Like, and kind of like a philosophy within even how we program and how we train is capacity. Like, we're building fires, we're getting bigger, and we're bringing more in, and we're getting fitter, and we're able to absorb more and burn more and do more. So my output in 6 months' time is probably going to be higher than what it is now. So I don't see there being a ideal time. It's about slowly building up a fire and starting with X amount of sessions per week and putting that on a cadence and then adding to it and then adding to it.
But I guess if we're talking about the reason of work's too busy, I guess we also have to ask ourselves, is work going to be the thing that completely saturates your day in its entirety? Like, if work is so busy that you are not getting any time for yourself, for your relationships, for your family, for your health, is that really how you want to ride things out? Like, totally. we all know what burnout feels like, fair. Like, I think we've all been there at some point in our life, and I think we can admit, and I know from you and me, from our own experience, can admit we feel that burnout feeling when we probably do let work get the better of us. I don't think it's ever got the better of us in terms of not training, but I think that's because we've been able to develop that discipline over years. But definitely in terms of time for ourselves, which can be training in some instances, like there comes a point where work being number one priority, saturating your whole day, has an expiry date. So if you find yourself saying, I'm not doing X because work is too busy, you're saying, I'm not doing life, I'm not doing health. It can't saturate the whole day. It just can't.
Yeah.
Which is why, hot tip, the 5 a.m., going back to the 5 a.m. time slot. Now, I used to train pretty much every day at 5 a.m. There's multiple reasons why I don't currently. You might see me there sometimes, but also it is the busiest time of the day. So, leave the spots for the members as much as possible. But the cool thing I find about being up that early and doing something for me at that hour is because the world's still asleep. And doing something for me might not even always be training. It might be something else, like walk with the dog or working on something for myself, whether it might be learning or listening to a podcast or reading or something like that. But doing it at that time before the world wakes up, like it's before, like surely you're not needed at 5 a.m. unless you're a shift worker, different story, you know what I mean? But more often than not, if you're working a 9 to 5 job, no one's calling you at 5 a.m. So that can be your time. Yes, you're tired. Yes, you might need to look at what time you're going to bed and things like that. But like there's a lot of ROI, I think, in just shifting and challenging yourself to just flip the schedule completely. Like I know what work busy feels like. You just have to cut through.
Like you say, we've been there and we've experienced what, yes, it's been on a cadence training, but it also has, to some extent, unless I can talk on my experience, like to some extent it does absorb, and I've definitely felt a hell of a lot better when you've got to control the controllables. Work is often, it's not within your control, especially like the first few hours of the day, they are in your control because there's no notifications, there's no emails, there's no phone calls, there's no spot fires that you've got to put out.
If there is, you need to turn your bloody notifications off.
You control the controllables. Work is not really a controllable. So
once you're in it.
So take some control and, implement a routine around work that you are in control of.
Yeah, I like that. I think I was going on a tangent.
No, just giving a different perspective. Next.
Last but not least, the fifth reason we chose to share of what we sometimes hear that holds people back is I had a sports injury. Might even not be sports. Could have just been an injury. When did you have it? Oh, it was 2 years ago. Maybe 3 years ago. Maybe 4 years ago.
Maybe 6 months ago.
Maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Who cares what the time frame is? Well, depending on the injury and depending what the rehab looks like. But hypothetically, it was an injury that has kept them out of action for a certain amount of time, potentially out of action now from a mental point of view, not necessarily physical. They might have very well healed from that injury. So how do we break this one down? What have you heard? What do you reckon?
Well, I think first, have you been given the green light? Did you follow a rehab program? If you did, or even if you didn't, and you worked with a physical therapist or some type of body worker, and you've been given the green light, like what actually is holding you back? Is it the narrative of the injury that you've been holding on to? And often that is the case where, we might be talking to someone on program that, or, new to the program they're not doing a said movement pattern because of an injury it was too long ago to be relevant now. So often it is a narrative that you're stuck on. But if you've been given the green light, I would first just make sure that you have been
Cleared.
That you have been cleared. What about you? What else is what's your take on that?
I think what can happen, whether it's injury or even just diagnosis of a specific health condition, it can become an identity thing. So sometimes we can allow an injury to become part of our identity, and I think that can actually be what does hold us back from things like, especially if it's an injury and we're now talking about stepping into something physical, which is a training program or a training environment, yet there might be some sort of trauma or whatever it is from the injury or fear. But often what can happen is people can get quite attached to that injury or that diagnosis or whatever it is, and it becomes part of their identity. It's really hard for them to break through that, I guess, that bubble of I'm not allowed to do this, or I can't do this because this happened. Like okay. I can't walk properly. I can't run.
And what about people that actually do? So what about people that are carrying, a long-term injury, and there is a whatever it is, a tissue injury, a bone injury, and it has been there for a long time. So with that, we can change the movement pattern. We can change the complete muscle group altogether if we need to. So there's definitely ways to work around things if it exists.
Sometimes it's a fear. And sometimes injuries can create that fear, unfortunately. Sometimes fear can build from the fact that I've hurt myself before, whether it be in a sporting arena, whether it be in a gym, whether it be in everyday life, picking up something.
Are you moving well? Do you know how in everyday life to pick up something well?
Well, that's exactly right. There's a massive spectrum, right? There could be examples of where an injury could hold someone back, but generally speaking, I think fear can actually be a pretty limiting reason, and I think you need to be able to trust, and you need to be able to push through a little bit of that fear. And I think that comes through, like you said, working with a good physical therapist, getting the green light. If it is something chronic, it is about having discussions, about looking at options. And that's why, like you said, like that PT pack that we were referring to earlier, like it's taking an option like that, like a more individualized option, just overcoming what you might be creating in your head as all these barriers to what you can physically do. No, you might not be able to follow the program to exactly every single movement that is on for that day, but that doesn't mean you can't participate. Like sometimes for so many people, and I've seen people, you know, encounter and experience injuries or movement limitations throughout their training journey, right? And man, I've had someone come in a bloody moon boot to the gym, right? When they were dealing with some pretty severe plantar fasciitis, and refused to not be there because they just need to be around the energy. And sometimes just that in itself, just being there around other people don't realise that that can be healing and that can have ROI in itself, right? Like, so like, yes, like we won't allow injuries to hold you back. We will always help, but like sometimes you need for your mental health just to be around a positive environment, be around an environment where you can get a little bit sweaty, where whatever movement pattern it is that you need to do or variation you need to do to get through.
You know what else?
There's so many ways around it.
So I know who you're talking about with the moon boot.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Because it was a standout.
Yeah. Regular player of the 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So, but there's also, there's that type of injury, but that's someone there's no fear there. So I know often there's fear with injury. So what people need with fear is wins. You need wins on like, you know, from it doesn't really matter what it is. It can be just actually, you could be lifting an empty barbell and, oh my God, I'm lifting with my legs and not my back. That feels way better. Like you're on the way. So it's having wins. Wins are going to put your mind at ease. That distills the fear straight away.
100%. So, and if you're not putting yourself in a position where you can even access those wins, what are you doing? So stop staying home. Step foot into where you're looking at, trying. Just take a step forward and see.
And I love that we have people and great people that we can refer to as well. It's not a 100% strike rate, but more often than not, we're able to refer to people that understand the industry, understand the movement patterns, understand, you know, our program for the people that we recommend to. It's not on us to diagnose and fix and know everything, but it is on us to have the right toolbox or tools in the toolbox and also the right people to refer to. But yeah, I love seeing wins like that. I love even like something that's popped up when I said about wins is like, it might not necessarily be an injury that holds people back, but like something as minor as like seeing someone hit a box jump for the first time. It sounds like something so minor, but
it's not.
I'm associating it to fear.
Yes,
because
100%.
Jumping on a box.
Game.
Yeah, if you don't land it, you eat shit. But watching people land it just from.
You eat the gorilla, really.
No one's eaten the gorilla yet.
They're not allowed to eat the gorilla.
Absolutely.
Stay away from the gorilla.
Mad.
Everyone listening
for anyone
at
that
home.
doesn't know, it's a mad piece of art. And the box jump is usually set up where you jump straight at the gorilla.
So we should probably do something about that.
Don't go through the gorilla. No, but yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Like having wins. And as a coach, and our coaches know, like giving people those wins, like that's our job. You know,
absolutely.
That's what we're there to do is help people and get them wins.
And wins can be literally anything. Achieving something new for the first time, finally nailing what a certain movement feels like perfecting technique on something. Because sometimes you'll see there's some technical movements, right, and you'll see people, you know, working through it, getting frustrated. Then you also see the aha moment when they get it, when it feels right, and they're like, oh, it's just the best. And like that is always a win. But like the great thing is like we, you know, on our program, for example, we have such a big variety of different movement patterns that we train and different tools that we use. So there is so many opportunities for wins. And wins don't just have to be on what we test. Like, all right, we do test our compound lifts every 12 weeks. It's part of the program. It's an opportunity to test our compounds if they excite you and if you want to test your strength. But that is just one little area of wins to gain. It can be wins on literally moving from walking on a skill mill to running or jogging on a skill mill. It can be, like you said, the box jump, whatever level, getting one for the first time, 2 feet on, flat, not falling off, not eating shit, not running all the way up to it and
jumping
stopping.
on it, not doing a step up.
Yeah.
Landing
exactly.
a jump.
Yeah, all of that. There's wins everywhere, and
Stringing some dubs
we're
together.
here for it.
Yeah.
You keep referring to Monday things. All right, so
Skills.
we've broken down our little list. Whilst I'm sure there is a lot of other things that other reasons that hold people back from taking the next step in their fitness journey. We've just covered, I guess, the main ones that we feel we hear often. So I want to spin this around now, and whilst we've been talking about people who want fitness, who are held back by certain things, let's talk about what they're missing out on. Like, what is over here that is, you want it, but things are holding you back at this point in time. What are they missing out on? Like, we get to witness, we're in a position where we get to witness every day that other end of the spectrum. So we're talking about people at their potentially the start of their journey. There is no end to this journey, but we are seeing people like probably in like a peak of their journey and from what we have witnessed in our community. So like, I guess what are the things that they're experiencing, the ones that have managed to overcome any fears, overcome any limiting beliefs, have found themselves a routine, have found their place, have found their ability to prioritize health and fitness and enjoy it. What do you think we see there?
Wins, like consistent wins. I think you're exposing yourself to a hard environment. It's a hard training program, so I am going to kind of reference what we see on this program. But it's set up in a way where there's opportunity for you to immerse and lose yourself and get the job done kind of without you knowing it. Just get lost on the skill wheel, get lost on the rowers. They're hard efforts, but there's some good beats. It's loud. It's a club vibe. It's immersive. You can see
other people in front of you and be distracted by that.
Motivated. You're looking at people and seeing their potential, seeing where their physique's at, seeing where their journey's at, knowing that they might be only a year or two ahead of you or whatever, and you know what their training cadence is and what they're lifting, and it's inspiring. But I think answering your question about, what's missing for that person and what's available is like, it's wins. It's realizing your potential. And for that to happen, I think it's a lot easier in a group environment where you do have that motivation and uplift. I think energy is everything. Energy is everything. Energy, our coaches will set a tone in how they deliver the program, and it permeates through the community. And being part of a program that you enjoy, you're potentially missing out there on participating in something that has a very hard stimulus that's enjoyable. Hard things are fucking hard, but having like a blend of hard and enjoyable, people that say it's addictive, like,
people also say it's sick. Like, there's something wrong with you all.
Yeah, we're sickos.
You're sickos, whatever it is. 100%. I also think for those also that, like, when I spoke about earlier about there being potentially a barrier of some mental real estate getting in the way, and the stress and the anxiety of contemplating the head space that it's going to take up, trying something new and stuff, all you have to do is show up. Literally. Like, if you show up, you're like 80%, 90% of the way there. Like, showing up, you're showing up for yourself, you're showing up for the people around you, you're showing up for your friends that you've made, you're showing up for the little mini competition that might be, available to you on the day. Like, you're showing up is all you need to do, and the rest takes care of itself. The program is written for you. The energy is there to be tapped into, but you just need to show up, and literally the rest will take care of itself.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Curveball. Nah, it's not a huge curveball, but I want you to unpack it.
Oh.
Where would you be if you hadn't discovered fitness? Can anyone see Chrissy's face? That's hilarious.
Well, the reason you caught me, because I was like, I had to think back to when fitness wasn't in my life.
You were nursing.
Oh,
Would have been early days
I
nursing.
wasn't a nurse when I was in high school.
No, not fitness like fucking Zumba and netball. Like, I guess fitness in a sense of like putting the hard thing on a cadence, like lifting heavy weight, pushing some hard cardio intervals or something like that. Like, not like I said, not games of netball. I think Zumba happened in like when we had some timeouts. Maybe I don't ever remember you going to a Zumba class, but I know you didn't. But you know what I mean? Like
No,
putting.
I did. I've done a Zumba class.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh.
But not well. Anyway.
You wouldn't actually.
Anyway,
catch
like
me
I'm
on
talking
that.
about training, like hard training.
Yeah.
If it like, yeah, what do you envision your life would be without it?
All right, fine. Let's go back to nursing because I started taking training seriously when I was a nurse, and I reckon if I didn't step into training, I would have been a tired, burnt out, grumpy nurse.
That is so interesting. Yeah,
Well,
I find that really interesting.
Because
Yeah.
I know what the nursing lifestyle is, right? I've done that. It was hard. It was tiring. I think I was grumpy.
Would you say what we're doing now is hard?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it comes down to choosing your hard, right? Mm-hmm. What hard do you want? Like, it's all hard. There's no sugarcoating what we do, but it's choosing. Like, which hard do you want? Which way do you want to go?
But for me at the time, yeah, that was my hour to myself. And the ability to be able to tune it, because I found my work hard at the time, and the nursing work was all consuming physically and mentally as well. So when I did create a routine around my shift work to get it done, I loved that hour. I became addicted. So without that, I'd be very out of shape. Mate, when we were running the pizza business, GB.
Well, pizza.
GB,
Yeah,
for
but
those at home, GB is garlic bread.
yeah. So
That could have ended badly.
well, we did have fitness in because we blew out after our comp. I did a comp and got shredded as fuck, and then ate garlic bread and got fat as fuck. So
We didn't stop training though. Just ate a lot of garlic bread. We never stopped training.
no, we might have had a little smoker after the comp.
Don't
Like
say
it was.
we. You did the comp. Oh, we didn't do the comp. You did.
I did the comp
Let's
and
speak
immediately
about
got fat afterwards.
Well, I never stopped.
And
I've never had a hiatus from training. From when I started training, I've never had a hiatus. Never. I know I haven't.
Oh, flex.
Fucking flex. but don't include me in your we. We did a comp.
We did.
You
No,
fucking
yeah.
did a comp.
I did the comp. We got fat.
We didn't. We got a little bit fluffy. But we were trained. Oh, well, I was training.
Look, let's go. Let's.
Maybe
Bring
I
it back.
think I ate better afterwards though.
I do.
They got a point where GB had to leave the menu.
Well, yes, it's interesting. If I went back to when fitness got amped up, I was in a band. I was like, the band was all out for me. So maybe I'd be a rock star. Maybe I should have just kept playing drums. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh dear.
It's taken all sorts of turns, but no, I love it. I love it.
Anyway, let's
Yeah.
wrap this up. Thanks for listening, team. I hope that if you are someone who is listening who has been on the fence about stepping into something that's going to change their life in terms of stepping into the fitness space, trying something new, challenging yourself, stepping into discomfort, hopefully just like listening to us breaking down all those kind of like mindsets, those themes, those limiting beliefs has helped you somewhat. And know that, and it's not just us, like other, lots of other facilities industry, whatever in the industry, the fitness industry, people aren't in the fitness industry not to help people. The fitness industry is full of people wanting to help people. So like, we all know that there is fear, that there is life on the outside of the gym that can get in the way. But like, once you take a step forward into those doors, like the world's your oyster, and you get to open new doors that you potentially never otherwise would have.
In most cases, you can walk out that door and go and open another one.
Oh, one last thing. Sorry, I'm circling back. I'm going backwards. One really cool thing when we were talking about like, oh, you know, what are people missing out on, right? And you're saying wins. Another thing, and I can't help but speak about this because we do it a lot, is events. Because I think that not only are we overcoming a fear stepping into a new training space, I think we are also then, when we're getting those wins on the board and we're potentially realising what we're capable of and realising that we've been able to progress in a certain area after a certain amount of reps, certain amount of time, that it opens doors to going from a place of you maybe never even considered competing in an event or anything outside of going to the gym, to then potentially going, oh, I reckon I could do that. And I think that is the beauty that comes from community fitness as well, especially when community gyms do get involved in things like Hyrox races, Spartan races, even fun runs, 5K, 10K, half marathon, whatever it is, or Tough Mudders, or, you know, Deca, all these different, there's turf games, there's a multitude of events at our fingertips available now, which we're so lucky that there is so much to be able to explore. And often I think the frequency or the incidence of people tapping into that is more, it's coming more through group fitness now. I don't think it's not so much like your solo trainers going, entering into those events as much. I think it's coming from the community fitness scene. And I think that's just a really cool thing that you're also opening yourself up to once you take that step and start leaning into your fitness journey. It just opens more doors if you want it. If you want it.
That's actually really interesting, because I remember meeting a couple of like, you know, amazing members of ours that saw us at an event. Like they saw us there. And I actually can't remember if I think I'm right here, because they've been members for a long time. I'm pretty sure he came to a primal class, and he came and did primal.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and primal, for those that don't know, primal was just ground-based bodyweight training on a Wednesday.
Not just.
No, well, it was. I'm saying like, just in terms of like, I mean, we're used to running and rowing and barbells and kettlebells.
Yeah.
It was just ground-based bodyweight training. We might have done a little bit of hanging movements and monkey bars, stuff like that, but it was predominantly bodyweight training anyway, and whoever took that session would guide it however they kind of saw fit, really. We had Molly Roper, who's mad on the handstands and taught our group how to do handstands. I was animal flow. We had another Molly who was real yogi. So it all had they all had their own flair to it, but it was, the point being, it was very different to actually the rest of our program. And I'm pretty sure this guy came in and did a primal session and then never came back. Yeah. And then until he saw us at Spartan, and I was like, fuck, these guys are fucking lit. Like, because we just had that group of like, whatever it was, 40, 50, I reckon it would have been at Mount Bor, yeah.
Something like that.
You know, and he's like, I know who they are. I want in on that. And then, man, we never looked back. Like, fucking went to their wedding. Like, yeah, wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, like there's a real world example of what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh, I love that story. Love those people too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are.
If he's listened this far.
Oh, love it. All right, cool. Let's wrap it up there.
And her. Yeah.
Yeah, him and her. Couple.
Yeah. All right, peace out, everyone.
Thanks for listening, team. Until next time.
Yep. Big love.